welcome everyone to episode number 3 of the OJHL All Access Podcast. I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. And we've got an awesome show for you today. 2 guests are coming on. First, from the Leamington Flyers, General Manager Justin Sutz will be joining me. And then afterwards, head coach and general manager Ryan Ramsay of the Haliburton Huskies is going to stop by as well. They are obviously 2 of the top teams in the league this season. We'll also take a quick look at some league news, but it will be very quick this week as we're going to be focusing mostly on the interviews. So first off, Leamington has just been unreal this season. There is no other way to put it. They're one of the top ranked teams in all of Canada and currently are first overall in the OJHL standings. And I am so pleased to be joined now by the general manager of the Leamington Flyers, Justin Sutz. Justin, thanks so much for taking the time, you guys. It's a busy, great season so far for you guys. Thanks for taking the time. How are things?
Good, Alex. No, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here and appreciate everything you do for our league here.
So let's start with the obvious. It's been a heck of a season so far for you guys. You're ranked 3rd in the CJHL. You're first overall in the OJHL. Just give me your general thoughts, Justin, on how the season has gone so far for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're happy with our start. There's no doubt. I mean, it's been a good start. We had a good competitive camp in June. That's kind of where it started. Picked some players out of there, and then kind of got fortunate as the summer progressed, and ended up getting a few local guys back from the OHL, and that's obviously helped us a lot. We went to Collingwood, won the Collingwood Cup, great event. Awesome for exposure for our players, great team builder. And again, I mean, our guys, like at the end of the day, our players and our coach have done a great job to get us where we are right now. We've been really good at home, which is important to us all the time. And I mean, at the end of the day, like we like where we're at, but championships aren't won in November, like we all know here, and we got to keep getting better every day. And I think that's the message that the coaches are relaying to the players. And again, just try to get better every day, and hopefully at the end of the season, we can be successful.
Well, the first thing that stands out to me when I look at the standings and your record so far is your goal differential. I mean, you guys have scored 90, but the crazy thing is you've allowed 36 goals in 21 games, by far the best goal differential in the league and the lowest amount of goals allowed in the league. Next closest is Collingwood with 50. That's something that must just, warm your heart. Seeing that goal differential and the defense that you guys have been that you've had so far this season.
For sure. I mean, mine for sure, but Coach Dale's like super. He really stresses the defensive end, and they've done a great job. I mean, and you hit the nail on the head, right? Like our D, we have 4 20-year-old D, 2 19-year-old D, and 2 younger guys that have been excellent. So 8 guys have been going. We've had a lot of injuries in the back end, which has allowed everyone to play and kind of next man up. They've been doing a great job. And I mean, our goalies have been phenomenal too. So, but the defensive end is always something in Leamington that we've really focused on and took pride in. And that's an area we always want to be good at. And kind of we've been, Dale's had always very good defensive teams. So it's great.
Well, you mentioned the goalies, and yeah, that is a big part of the equation. Obviously, the 2-headed monster of, Marcus Vandenberg and Trey Altman might just be the best goaltending duo in all of Canadian junior A hockey. That's a fair assessment, I think. Right, both up there near the top of the league in terms of their statistics so far. Tell me about these 2 and the way they've played for you.
Oh, I mean, they've been great. Like you said, I mean, like honestly, we didn't return any goalies from last season. We had great goaltending last year too. Didn't end up returning either of them. So in the summer it was a little stressful at times. I mean, Trey in the spot at a camp, which was great. Trey came from Junior B All-Star. I mean, top goalie in that league. So we knew what we were getting there. Got a little lucky with Marcus. Marcus got sent down from the OHL later in the summer, right before the season. So we got him, and honestly, both guys have pushed each other. Like you said, they're both at the top of the league. They've been phenomenal. Really, a lot of the credit goes to our goalie coach, Matt Anthony, who's done this year after year after year with our goalies, and he continues that with these guys this year. And really, like again, both guys have been great. Marcus, obviously, with the pedigree coming from the OHL, had a really good start. Got injured. Trey took over for a couple weeks, and he was great. And now they're both rolling. I mean, this weekend we went up on the road there and didn't give up a goal, right? So, what else can you ask for as a group, right? So these guys give us a chance to win every night. So they've been great.
No question about it. Offensively, the conversation obviously has to start with Colton Smith, who's leading the entire league in scoring this season. And I think fair to say a guy who's from good bloodlines, being the son of a former NHL player and current LA Kings assistant coach, DJ Smith. Before we get into his play, first just talk about how it came to be him playing for the Flyers. Was there a connection there? Do you know DJ? I know he played for the Spitfires back in the day, but how did you guys end up with Colton in the first place?
Yeah, so definitely connection. Super interesting story, really. So there's a lot of connections, right? So obviously, myself knows DJ. I know Colton. Our owners are good friends with DJ, but Dale played for DJ in Windsor when they won the Memorial Cup. So Dale's got a relationship with DJ, and Dale's known Colton since he was a little kid coming in the Spitfire room, right? So again, with Colton, like he had a good OHL career and really was looking for a change. Like when it was evident that he wasn't going to get a spot in Windsor, we met with him, and like I think as we talked, like he really wanted to be a place where he was going to be an impact player. He's exceeded expectations here, right? I mean, he's been unbelievable. He's got 24 goals in 19 games, leads the league in scoring. I mean, he shoots it like a pro. Can't say enough. I mean, he's been great in the room, helping our young guys, and honestly, he's lived up to his end of the bargain. I hope we're living up to ours, and it couldn't have been any better thus far. So it's been great.
I remember those Spitfires winning back-to-back titles back in the day with Taylor Hall and Dale Mitchell. What a fantastic team that was. And how crazy it is to have now DJ's son, playing for the team. So let's talk about his play and let's talk about his leadership both on and off the ice, because obviously he's got the OHL experience. Talk about what he brings off the ice as well as on it.
Yeah, he's assistant captain, right? And again, he's a big personality, and he's just a guy people want to be around, right? Like so, and again, he delivers on the ice, right? So really, he's been like when you can bring a guy in that's played for great organizations like London and Windsor and played at that level, right? It's just like the experience they have is great. And again, getting guys like Gavin Grunder back and Marcus, these guys with the OHL experience, they've really been able to add to our culture, right? We got to remember we've like our captain Adrian Bosov, our assistant Shimataro, Bernard, Nick May, like these guys have been with us for a bunch of years, right? So Colton fits in there perfect with the guys, and really, I mean, again, on and off the ice, he's been a huge asset to us, and I can't say enough about how good he's playing right now. He seems to score every game, so that's what we want, right?
Definitely. Oh yeah. Well, he's getting so much of the attention, but I mean, I can't shortchange Gavin Grunder, who you mentioned, who's just been fantastic as well. Top 10 in league scoring. Talk about Gavin and what he's brought.
Yeah, I mean, Gavin, again, like played for us in junior B. He's got family ties here. His brother's played for us since he was 16. His family's alumni. He's a Windsor kid. So he's a Flyer true and true. I mean, obviously, he went to the OHL for a few years, which was great. Had a great experience there. And really coming back here, he's been great. Like we've transitioned to center. We've been like our believe it or not, don't have a lot of centermen. So Gavin is typically a winger. We've moved him to center, played him with Colton. He's had a great start to the year. He had a little slow start, like scoring wise, but I think I just looked up today. He's got like 8 goals in his last 10 games, right? So he's driving the pace of play. And again, can't say enough about how good of a kid he is, how good of a player he is, how good of a family he is. It's just a perfect fit here, and we're super fortunate to have him back here.
One other guy I'd like to chat about, Smith and Grunder, of course, are both 04 birth dates. Brody cooked those in 07. And last season I was checking out his bio, played a couple games with the Waterloo Blackhawks of the USHL, which is nothing to sneeze at. Fantastic league, top, junior league in the United States. He's averaging a point per game as a rookie. Talk about him, how he came on board and what you've seen from him.
Yeah, Brody's had a great start too. And you are right, he's a Waterloo pick, and that's kind of how it all went down. Like he went to Waterloo, had a great camp, like could have made that team, but Waterloo wanted to make sure he was going to play enough and develop enough, so they sent him to us. I got him, which again, I mean that's great that they did that. But I also recruited him last year at the Michigan State tournament at his 16U level in CompuWare, and like it was a no-brainer. He was like drove the pace there, plays the right way, stops on pucks, finishes his checks. He's been awesome for us this year, and again, he's earned it, deserved it. He's getting a ton of exposure right now. He's getting a ton of Division I opportunities. And again, he's been really, really good, transitioned really, really well. And again, he's exceeded expectations here by far.
He's a Michigan native, as mentioned, played for CompuWare. And it's something I wanted to chat about because you guys have had some real success in recruiting Michigan players over the past few seasons. Tell us about that pipeline. I'm sure proximity helps a great deal to the U.S. border, but just talk about that pipeline you guys have developed in terms of recruiting that Michigan talent.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that proximity is obviously a big thing, right? So, but we've kind of always been over there, even in junior B. We had a lot of Americans, and now in junior A, we've kind of found this sweet spot of these 17-year-old Americans that really like if they're good enough to play in the USHL, they go. But if they need a little bit more time, and again, everything could change here with what's happening in the hockey landscape. But if they need a little more time, they've came to our league and had a lot of success. We had a lot of success with our 06s last year, and then Brody and Sean Cherubi and the guys we have this year. And really, what it comes down to is we're super fortunate to have good connections over there. There's a lot of people I trust there, or our organization trust, and they trust us. And I think we've kind of both delivered, right? Like their players.
I was going to say that's a huge thing. The fact that they trust you, and the fact that an organization like Waterloo in the USHL would want to send him to you guys to get more seasoning. That says a heck of a lot about the program that you guys are running.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we're super fortunate, like I said, with programs like that. And then with their agents and advisors, like really, we do have good connections, and it's like, again, I think we're living up to our end of the deal. And again, they're definitely living up to theirs, and Brody's, he's definitely done that.
So let's take a step back. Just a couple seasons ago, you guys achieved the biggest prize in, Ontario Junior B hockey. You won the Sutherland Cup. Was it Stratford you guys beat?
Yeah.
In the final. I mean, I got a soft spot for Stratford going way back. Sorry, I know it's a rivalry, but going to games at the William Altman Arena, it just, what an atmosphere. Oh, yeah. But you guys walked in there into a packed rink. I think there was about 2,700 people in there or something. You win the title. First of all, just talk about that experience. About finally, it was your first title. I had this written down and now I've lost it, but it was the first title in a long time.
Yeah, first Sutherland Cup ever. Yep. So I mean, I don't know, man. If 2 years ago, it feels like it was yesterday, but it also feels like it was 10 years ago, man. Like it was awesome experience. I mean, we had such a great group of guys. Really, like since Dale took the team over the year before, we're kind of building to that moment. We had the two McPherson twins. Our leadership group was older. It was with Gabe Piccolo, and it was just an unbelievable season. I mean, we were a good team all year. We went up 3-1 in the Sutherland Cup. Well, first of all, I had to get to the Sutherland Cup through that round robin. Had to come back against Hamilton, like down 2 goals in the third period with a few minutes to go, and I ended up with a 3-1 lead against Stratford. And next thing you know, we're going to Game 7 at the Almond, like you said, and what an experience! And again, our guys. We played great that game, great defensively, and we got timely goals. And yeah, it was an awesome experience for us as a team, for our community. Like it was unbelievable that the way they rallied around us, and I mean, just everybody, like from the playoff run to the parade to the months after. It was just a great experience, and something we're super proud of. And I mean, again, what a way to go out of that league, and it's great league, and great hockey, and it was awesome that we were fortunate enough to win that.
Yeah. So to continue on to that, the die had already been cast. You guys have been accepted into the OJHL for the following season. Why the decision to come to the OJHL and to move up to Junior A hockey? Just tell us about that, Justin, and why that was done.
Yeah, it's a long story for sure. I mean, it did start years before, like it was kind of through COVID, and we felt like we wanted to make sure that players in this area in Southern Ontario, like didn't have to move away from home to play at the highest level they could. Right. So I went through a lot of, it was a long time. I mean, with both leagues, and again, it's great that we were both able to work together to get it done at the end. But I mean, again, we're super, super happy with the decision we made. This league has been excellent to us, and it's everything we expected. And again, it's just, it was a long process, but we're super happy we did it. And again, happy with everything. And it's just been a great experience, and it's been a long 2 years, but we're getting there.
It's crazy to think that it's only been 2 years, because let's talk about last season. You're first in the OJ. Did you think you were going to be that, first of all, actually, before you get into how competitive you were, talk about sort of the process, just for like a minute, about how you guys went about, because you still brought a lot of those junior B players with you when you came into junior B. You had a very, very strong squad, but just the process you guys had about keeping some of those players, but also adding junior A players and also adding some former OHL guys too, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. And it all happened real quick, right? So, like, honestly, the team we won with in junior B was such a good team that, again, we would have took everyone if it would have worked, right? So we're able to carry some guys over from that year to carry the culture. Last year we were actually super young team, which is like this year we're completely different, right? So last year that's just the way that it went down. We ended up we committed to a bunch of young guys and we were committed to developing them. And you know what? We ended up again, give it to the coaches, right? We provided them the players and those guys worked with what they had and we did have a lot of success. And again, we obviously learned a lot of lessons. Like we weren't ready to win last year, right? I mean, we were a young team. I mean, those teams like Collingwood and Trenton and those they were older and they were built to win. And so we learned a lot of lessons, both on and off the ice, right? And that's kind of what we tailored ourselves. We met after the season and did a lessons learned and kind of figured out where we need and what we want to do for this year, right? And you can see our team's a little different this year.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, we still we're focused on winning and development. That's our goal here, and that's what we try to do every day.
Did it surprise you how well you guys did in your first season, making it all the way to the conference final?
Yeah, for sure. I'd be lying to you if I said anything else, right? So I mean, again, we expect to be good, but we exceeded expectations last year. There's no doubt. It took us a while to get our feet wet, but once we got our feet wet, and again, like the guys we got on our staff, and these guys did a great job adapting, and the players we brought with us to carry the culture. And again, what about our young guys last year, right? I mean, these guys, Gatto and Anderson, and these guys had great years, right, with us, and. So definitely, I can't say we expected to do that. I mean, again, this is a great league. We came from a great league. We knew we were going to be competitive, but at the end of the day, we definitely exceeded expectations.
What were the name of the twins you guys had? Was it the McPhersons?
Yeah, Connor and Ryan.
The McPhersons.
Yeah.
If they hadn't gone to Penticton, you never know last year what kind of, you guys they might have put you over the hump there against Collingwood. That's a chat for a different day. Okay, you know what? I was just gonna real quickly, Southwestern Ontario is you touched on the fact that you went to junior A because you wanted to provide an area, like a team in the area for kids in that area to be able to play on. And it's such a fertile spot for growing hockey players. How much has that been a boon for you guys, being the only junior A team in that area? And that's obviously very, very attractive to kids in Southwestern Ontario, having the Flyers there now to aspire to play for.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. We're super fortunate. I mean, that is a recruiting advantage we do have. And we definitely took advantage of it. And like you said, it is awesome when a kid, especially from the Windsor, Essex County here, doesn't have to leave home, right? Can continue his own school, play hockey here. We have a great facility, right? So, and again, up to 401, it is nice to be able to, that's definitely an area that we recruit heavily, right? And that junior B loop. And we know, you talk about Stratford, like we have a bunch of, I think we've got like 3 or 4 guys that have Stratford ties on our team this year, right? Yeah. So great program. Chad and LaSalle are excellent with us too, right? So it is definitely an advantage for us, and I think it's a win-win, right? I mean, win for us to get good players, but also for the players in this area to be able to stay closer to home, right? Their parents get to watch them play, right? Like, I mean, even these guys from London and Michigan, like we play Thursday nights, their parents are at every game. So, which is great. And then
huge bonus.
When we're on the road, they're closer to the road game than they are for home. Right. So, and then the weekend. So it's worked out great. And we're super happy with that.
Well, finally, you guys go all the way back to, is it 1954? I believe the Flyers originally were started in 54. So they become such an important part to the community over the years. I've been blown away. And I talked to Ron Valentine and Alan Corkum on the first show about this. We were talking a bit about Leamington. I love the crowd support they get. I love the community feel. You pack that rink. Just talk about, that important connection to the community that the Flyers have.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. And it wouldn't happen any other way, right? Like these people, and we say this to them every year, and especially that year we won, like they're a huge reason for our success, right? I mean, our volunteers, our fans, the billets, the sponsors we have, like everyone embraces this team as it's their own. And like you said, I mean, like it's unbelievable for our players to be able to play in front of almost 1,000 people a night. And our attendance has been like, it's went up since junior B, which, I mean, they obviously appreciate the good level of
quality.
Hockey. And and I mean, and again, like nothing we want more to have another deep run in the playoffs and try to bring a championship to Leamington. Like these people are dying for it. And again, that's what we're trying to do here.
One more thing before I let you go. Big game against Burlington tomorrow night at home for you guys. A team that's been playing great as well. Chasing you in the standings. First meeting of the year. What are you expecting from the Cougars?
Yeah, huge game. I mean, it's funny. Me and Juris were talking about this when we were doing the schedule. Like, let's get a home and home going, right? Because we don't really do that a lot. We're not that close. So we actually got a home and home this week. So it's going to be awesome. Burlington's had a great start. I mean, they're a good young team. Mark always has them prepared to play. And we're looking forward to it. I mean, again, Thursday night, our barn, right back in their barn Friday. And again, two teams are at the top of the standings. And we know we know we got to be ready, right? So, no, this is a big, this whole month is a big test for us. We play a lot of hockey games against a lot of good teams. The league's really, really strong this year, top to bottom. And we're looking forward to tomorrow night. That's for sure. We like to hopefully we get to draw a good crowd there tomorrow and can get a victory.
Justin, you guys have been a ton of fun to watch since you entered the league. I love the talent that you guys bring in and a lot of professionalism as well with your operation there. Just keep up the great work, man. We'll have you on again, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, Alex. And again, man, I can't stress how important this stuff that you do for our league, how well this is for us, right? So thanks for everything you do, and anytime, man. Looking forward to it.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Justin.
Okay, right on, Alex.
Yeah, Leamington is just such a great story, and that home and home with Burlington over the next few days is going to be awesome to watch. Some very quick league news for you. The latest CJHL rankings came out on Monday, and as previously mentioned, Leamington is the top-ranked OJHL team, holding strong. Trenton is at number 8. Haliburton County comes in at number 16. Collingwood and the Toronto Patriots ended up with an honorable mention. Collingwood's head coach, Andrew Campoli, has been named as an assistant coach for Team Canada East at the upcoming World Junior A Challenge, which takes place December 9th through the 15th in Camrose, Alberta. Andrew has, of course, coached the Blues to back-to-back Buckland Cups and last season's Centennial Cup title. And just a quick reminder that the CCHL OJHL Battle of Ontario will be held November 19th and 20th in Smiths Falls. There will be all-star teams and prospect teams from both leagues facing off. It'll be a tremendous event. Tons of scouts will be there. Okay, moving on now. The Haliburton County Huskies have had an unreal start to the season, surprising quite a few people, including even their head coach, in regards to just how good they've actually been. Their season has included an 11-game win streak, and they are in the thick of the battle for Eastern Conference supremacy. And it is great to be joined now by the head coach and general manager of the Haliburton County Huskies, Ryan Ramsay. Ryan, thanks for taking the time. How are things?
They're great. Yeah, no, thanks a lot for having me.
Things are going great. Obviously, it's a fantastic season so far, you guys. 1 point behind Trenton out east, ranked 16th overall in the CJHL. Just to start off with, give me your thoughts on the way the team's performed so far this season.
I would say with this group is probably a lot better than we originally anticipated and expected. We lost a lot of players last year or coming into this season. We have 8 or 9 07 rookies. So it's been great. We've had great goaltending. We've got a couple of good overagers from other places that came down and just kind of kept adding throughout the summer. But once we hit training camp, we kind of didn't really know what to expect. I think we were 500 for exhibition games. And then with obviously we went our first weekend 0-2 and didn't really do too well against Leamington. So I knew we kind of had a good team with some good young talent. And then since then we went on an 11-game winning streak. So things have been really good. It's a really strong knit team in our dressing room. The guys really play for each other, and they compete, which obviously you want as a coach, and to build your program around that.
Yeah, that's one of the funny things. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you guys lost to Mississauga at the start of the season.
We did,
and
yeah.
I'm not trying to knock the Chargers. Joe Washkaruk, I love you. You're one of my good buddies. But, I mean, unexpected. And then you go and you reel off an 11-gamer, which definitely opened a few eyes. It's funny the way things switch like that. But talk about that 11-game win streak you guys went on and what that was like for the team. The longest streak, definitely this season, and maybe even going back to last season as well. But just an incredible streak you guys went on. That was a good, definitely good momentum early in the season that you guys created. And I like the way that you talked about how many youngsters you guys have compared to last year. A little bit surprising as well, but just talk about that 11-gamer and what that was like for you guys.
Yeah, obviously it was huge because confidence is key, right? So, once we rattled off one or two and the guys started feeling good, coaching staff, everything started, going hand in hand with our systems, and guys really started to buy in. So, obviously in that 11-game series, I'm sure there's some games that we probably shouldn't have won, but we got the good bounces, and our power play, I think, was running at that point like 45%. So, yep. Our special teams has been really well this year. Jordan Bailey's been great since coming back to us from his year off last year with JRC, and Owen Flood's been great. He's running our penalty kill. So with those two guys, hand in hand working every day with myself, is special teams played a big factor in that 11-game winning streak.
I think it's fair to say you wouldn't be having the success that you've had so far without the performance of Nathan Poole, who's second in the league in scoring right now, 35 points, 3 seasons under his belt in the OHL with the Kingston Frontenacs. Just talk about what he's brought to the team and his performance this season.
Yeah, he's been great. He was a guy, obviously. There's a couple, Ty Petru and Ray Nadeau know him well from Oshawa, living close to him. We were, obviously ecstatic to get him. He's been nothing but pleasant since being here. His leadership on and off the ice, has been a big part, I think, in our winning as well with being such a young team this year. On the ice, he's probably, one of the smartest players I've ever coached offensively, but also on the other side of the puck and with his defensive play is just as good. So, he's a 200-foot player that comes to compete and play every night.
Another guy you mentioned there, Ty Petru, OHL experience as well with the Oshawa Generals and the Flint Firebirds. But yeah, what a duo those guys have been. Just talk about Ty and his performance.
Yeah, he's been excellent this year. I think from his OHL, when, just getting the confidence and playing, big minutes every night, he was really good for us last year, and this year he's kind of just taken off. So, again, he's wearing a letter for us and a captain for us this year. His leadership skills, both on and off the ice, is exactly what you asked for from a coach. But he's just he's got a great shot, great release. For whatever reason, last year things kind of didn't really bounce his way, and this year obviously he's playing with with Pooley, and it's been great.
Another guy who's getting the bounces is Carson Littlejohn. Poole and Petru are both 04s. Littlejohn's an 06, and a point per game on the blue line for you guys. Third highest scoring defenseman in the league this season up to this point. His game has definitely grown by leaps and bounds this season compared to last year when he split time between the JRCs and the Tigers. Talk about the growth that you've seen in his game.
Yeah, he's an offensive defenseman. Really, really good on the power play. He's the quarterback for us out there. And one of the reasons why we're still 40%, I think we are. Great kid off the ice. Obviously, we picked him up in a trade in a 2-for-1 with Aurora. We are high on him, and when we brought Jordan back, obviously he coached him for a bit last year, and he was really high on him. So that's a guy that we targeted and went out and got.
Corbin Voteri, Carter Nadon, been your duo in goal. I wanted to talk about Nadon for a second, who is a rookie, and he had a phenomenal start, going 6-0, 1.64 goals against average, which blew me away. He signed with the North Bay Battalion, made his OHL debut with them just last week. talk about his composure as a rookie. You are getting him back. He'll be playing, I believe, the majority of the season with you. But talk about him and how much you expect him to play and his performance so far this season.
Yeah, he's been a great surprise, really. Like, we didn't really know too much on him last year. I'm working with North Bay, and they've been great. So they kind of led me on to him, and we watched a bunch of video, and we said this guy's legit. So we signed him, and he's been obviously just remarkable. He hasn't lost a game yet. So we're getting him back for this weekend. I'm really excited for him to get back, but also at the same time as for his development, to have a good working relationship with North Bay, and for him to get that start under his belt and just gain more confidence and more skill to his skill set, and come back for us and just do what he's doing.
Yeah, he's been great. Just looking at the standings for a second, you guys are neck and neck with Trenton in the East, and we always laugh on the podcast and say, yeah, shocking that Trenton would be up at or near the top of the standings. But they're just a single point ahead of you guys. You've only played them once this season. You beat them 5-4. But talk about the rivalry you guys have developed with the Golden Hawks over the last few years.
It's it's definitely there. You meet people on the street being in a small town, and with Trenton and Coburg, they dislike them, which is great because those games we play are usually sold out. But yeah, with Trenton, like, Smitty runs a great program. Trenton's always good, and usually the top of the standings. We like playing in small rinks, is the way we've kind of built. So we've always done well in Trenton. Obviously they're always there. So it's somewhere, as an organization, if you look at the longevity that they've had with success, it's something that we try to look and mentor our organization with the success and try to follow their footsteps in so to speak. But at the same time, as obviously we want to beat them.
Let's go back a few seasons now. For years, the organization was based in Durham. I remember watching them as the old Oshawa Legionnaires way back in the day. And then for the last few years, you guys were in Whitby as the Fury. And then it's obviously worked out really well for the organization. But why the decision to move to Minden in 2021?
Our owner, Paul Wilson, obviously when we had it in Whitby, we only really got 90 to 100 fans a night, usually, family and grandparents. There wasn't really a business model there. There was, 10 to 15 organizations playing out of Iroquois. We didn't really have any pecking order and no gym or workout center, really, that was what we were working with. So obviously our owner, Paul, is from up in Haliburton, and there was a brand new facility being built during COVID in Minden here, and it's just such a great facility. There's a full basketball court where our guys work out in. There's a full workout room as well. So the guys can it's a one-stop shop. So guys can come in and work out. Our strength and conditioning coach Owen is busy with them every day. So and then on top of that, we have a just over 3,000 square foot dressing room that Paul did a really good job at, and make it all the stalls. They have a lounge area, a games room, a video room. So it's something, I think, in junior hockey that if you have obviously space where players can come in and be comfortable, we have a really good setup here. Obviously fan base here is, I think we have 375 season ticket holders. We usually get 550 a night. Obviously early in September, we don't really draw that well with obviously still in cottage country, but throughout the winter, the community and the fans have really supported us here. We do a lot of stuff with the schools and the hospitals and stuff like that. And it's good. Like, the kids, they're little celebrities in the town. We have a great partnership with Highland Storm Minor Hockey. And a lot of the players go out, a couple times a month to their practices and give back.
I was going to say the town has really fallen in love with the team and vice versa. It's worked both ways, hasn't it? It's just been a great partnership, and I just love the passion from the fans out there. And you're right, they pack during the wintertime. I mean, it's the only game in town, right? They love to go out and watch the junior hockey. It's just been a great relationship, hasn't it?
Yeah, they're passionate, and they really know hockey. So you're not fooling them. They love the rivalry with Coburg and Trenton, and they're knowledgeable fans. So when you have that recipe and they're passionate, the Haliburton Huskies was an old junior D team up in Haliburton in the, I believe, 50s, 60s, and 70s. So when they kind of came back, they already had like a following. So that was nice to see with the older gentlemen coming and, showing us old jerseys or old leather jackets. And that's what we use for our player of the game, is an old, Huskies jacket back from the 60s. So it's a good community. We don't see ourselves anywhere else.
One more thing before I let you go. Big game, home game too on Friday against St. Mike's, who's having a fantastic season as well, chasing you in the standings. What do you expect from the other double blue? But what are you expecting from St. Mike's?
They're always, their top line is one of the best in the league. We got to try to contain them and shut them down as best as we can, obviously. But they always play us well. They're a good team. They're fast. They got a lot of young, good players. Obviously now you've earned the right to be one of the top teams in our conference. So, you're not surprising anyone else the second time through. So just keep the guys get going and practice this week and make sure we're sharp and ready to go.
Ryan, it's been great to watch you guys this season. You're just doing fantastic out there, and you guys are definitely one of the teams we're going to be watching for at the end. Long run this season, definitely possible. Keep up the great work, and thanks for taking the time to be on the show today.
Great. Thanks very much, Alex. Have a great day.
And that is a wrap for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in to our third broadcast. And again, please let us know in the comments what you think, what you'd like to see on future shows. For the most part, we've been getting positive feedback so far, which is, great to hear. Please, if you like what you've seen, don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much to my guest this week, Justin Sutz and Ryan Ramsay, and thank you for watching. See you next week.